Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for this plan with me. This is a absolutely beautiful kit by the Crafty Banana. Now, this shop only offers glossy kits, so I very much just purchased them for the base of the spread, and then everything else, or my intention whenever purchasing from that shop, is to pull in all of my own stuff. Be prepared for just a lot of colour. For me, it's quite an intense spread. It feels somewhat cohesive. The pinks are all the same. It's been nice to kind of pull in some yellow and green stickers that I wouldn't otherwise use. But it's intense. There are a couple of things that I feel were maybe a bit much, and I'll cover those when we get to them, that I would do differently. But it does, using these sorts of kits does give me the opportunity to use my fancy boxes and use things that I've bought to use, but actually kits have become so versatile now, and can be used almost solely on their own with a couple of foil dividers and icons and things. But in terms of the boxes, they can be pretty much used on their own because they offer so many different shapes and sizes in the kits now. So this is nice to be able to use other stickers that I've purchased because it forces me to use them, but I thought that the full boxes in this kit, I mean, if you go to that shop, you'll see everything, I think, is hand drawn by the owner of the shop, or hand painted, or however they do it. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I did the Friends spread in my previous planner, and I really struggled with it because it had a lot of red, and it just felt very bold, way too bold for me, way too sort of deep and dark and heavy. But this is much lighter, much prettier, much kind of more spring-esque. So I wanted to use it in April because of all of the florals, which you'll see me choosing where I want to lay down now. I was going to lay them all in one row as if they're all hanging over a wall, but when I did that with the Friends stickers, I hated how it looked at the end. In terms of, it felt really blocky, but I'm glad I laid the Friends stickers down as I did because it's a scene, but this I didn't feel like would have looked strange if I didn't lay them all in a row. So I'm glad that I did that because I think it would have felt very heavy if I hadn't kind of dotted things around. So yeah, only glossy, which is a shame because you can't, well, I really struggle to write on glossy stickers. It reflects on when you kind of wiggle the page or look at the planner or try to take pictures, you get quite a lot of reflection or bounce back of the light, also known as reflection. So I really struggle with glossy kits because I just think from an aesthetic point of view, matte for me is preferable. And all of my fancy boxes and different types of boxes that I've bought over the years, they're all matte. So then it just kind of throws off the balance a bit because you've got this glossy base and then all these matte stickers. Now, it works for this one, or I was able to get away with it for this one because of the amount of colour on the glossy boxes. It's not like there's a lot of space, so it doesn't kind of draw attention to the fact that there's a difference there. And I didn't put headers on them or anything, so maybe I got away with using just enough of the stickers from the kit that it wasn't offensive. I also used, I can't think what it's called now, but it's like the dangling strip of washi that sort of looks like a very pretty necklace from Miss Meow. I put that along the bottom washi because it's just one thick strip of washi, and I didn't want to cut it in half and try and pull anything else in because, again, I didn't want that kind of glossy against not glossy. And it wouldn't have looked quite right. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of jazz it up a bit, give it a bit of foil, and maybe that will be enough. And I think it was enough. And then along the date covers, again, because it was that kind of single brick style, it didn't kind of have any floral flair or anything. I just wanted to add something to the date covers. So I did do what I say that I don't like to do, but I am getting pulled in. I did cut up a bunch of deco. I actually used, I think this was from Sadie Stickers. The colours haven't matched anything so far, but I was able to pull them in because they were kind of subtle enough colours that they didn't clash with all of the lovely bouquets in the full boxes. So yeah, this is just a sheet from Sadie Stickers that I'm pulling in to do above the date covers, and then a divider from Honey Inked. I don't know what that divider's called, I'm afraid, but I used to use that a lot. And I haven't used it in a while, but I thought it was quite florally, and I thought it just add, you know, that bit of foil to, since the days of the week aren't foiled, I just thought it would add that touch of foil at the top of the page that it was missing, really. So we've got a nice bit of foil at the top and the bottom, but yeah, the brickwork at the top and the bottom without those elements I think would have looked a bit heavy and one-dimensional, so I'm glad that I was able to do all that. And then I played around with some Bloom Paper Studio massive scallop circles. They are huge, just to kind of do the date corner, whatever you call it, month area, just slightly differently. I thought I'd play around with it a bit this time. And I just love using those calendars from Crafts by Towie. I've actually managed to pull them in throughout the spread, which has been really nice. I just think they're very cute and very pretty. And then I'm just popping that last full box there that says spring. And actually, this is probably the only sidebar that I've done that is totally decorative. I don't know. Sorry if you can hear the pages. I'm just going back through. I usually try to squeeze in at least the habit trackers, because I stopped using the checklist, the sort of weekly checklist box a while ago, just because I don't use it for anything, unless I do like to use the ones in the Miss and Meow kits just because they're always so pretty. But if it's a non-Miss and Meow kit, I'll generally pull in the final full box if there are 9 full boxes. Or I'll pull in, if there's like a big clipboard type full box, I'll pull that in. But for this one, I didn't like the habit trackers because, again, it's kind of that style of planning that I don't think it's outdated. That's not fair to say, because I'm sure a lot of people still plan that level of functionally, where they're using the 4 core colours of a kit. They're bold colours, so maybe red, purple, blue and orange or something, or blue and yellow, and they will have almost different categories. I haven't planned like that in a very long time. So for me, it's an outdated format of kit for me to be able to use. So couldn't use the habit trackers because the colour again was too heavy, and I don't think it came with a checklist, because I ordered whatever was the smallest type of kit I could order that had the full boxes and the washi, and the date covers is what I ordered. You can order 3 different sizes of kit, I believe. So yeah, I whatever was the minimum amount of stickers I could get is what I've got. So that's why there's not more than the base pulled in to this kit. But I made a cute little decorative scene with all of the deco that came with the kit, because I just thought it was too cute to waste, with a Crafts by Towie box acting as a frame. And then underneath that, I just made a little scene with I was just trying to see if I've already done that on the video. Sorry, the thing that I use to hold my phone is slightly in the way, so I can't quite see what I've laid down. I can only see a very small portion of the screen. But I've just made a little scene at the bottom with a fashion girl from Red Lyrics. And again, I know I've said this before, but this is that whole corner is fully inspired by Shaunté Plans. She did it a while ago, and she's kind of mixed it up every time and kind of added more to those corners. But she is the first person I saw do that, and I thought it was a really good way to use that area a bit more decoratively. And I've really been enjoying doing that from time to time. So that's where that came from. I used some more of those massive scallop circles from Bloom Paper Studio, and then a few hearts from the Giving Girl, which I thought lined up quite nicely. But I just wanted to pull the green because I never get to use my green stickers. I don't have a whole lot of kits that call for any kind of green colours. It's usually pink and yellow and maybe light blue and creams and that sort of stuff, but very rarely green. So I did want to make the most of that. So on Monday, I don't think this was a very exciting week. I'm just going to preface with that so that no one gets their hopes up for any exciting stories. Not that I have a whole lot of those anyway. I live a very structured, comfortable life, and we're not, I don't know what to call it. We don't live like exciting, full of adrenaline lives or anything. It's just so there's nothing super exciting to hear about this week. But hopefully if you like watching people put down stickers and just generally talk about their work week, then great, you're in the right place. So on Monday I just marked that I was working from home. That is a box that I would have done differently. Could I do it again? Because I think it's just a bit too white on white. The foil doesn't really pull through enough for my liking. I wish I'd done something with more colour there. Then I was marking that I just didn't feel 100%. We walked Wendy as we do every day. I cannot get enough of these scripts from Paper Trail Plans. I need to order 1 million of them. I just love them so much. I want every single script in every single foil colour from them to say everything that I ever need, because I just think it's so gorgeous. Then I was watching You. I can't remember what week I started that, but I did get pulled in, and while I was working from home I just kind of had it on in the background. It's not something that I think I could have watched if I was having to pay more attention. I think I would have got bored. It's a bit young, I think, for me, but it was nice to have on in the background. And my goodness, season 3 was a little bit intense, but yeah, I think I will again have the 4th season on just in the background whenever it comes out. But I'm most excited for Ozark whenever the last bit of that comes out. I think it's right at the end of April. I'm very much looking forward to that. That'll be a binge-watched season, that's for sure. And then on Tuesday, I was just marking that I was really tired. I think I changed the stickers around. I think that's what I'm doing here. I didn't like how I'd marked that. Oh no, I'd marked the wrong thing. That's right, I didn't work from home on Tuesday. So I just marked that I was so tired. And then I went for a really lovely walk with my friend. She was one of my colleagues at my previous place of work, and we've kept in touch. She's just wonderful. So I'm so glad that we're able to keep in touch. In fact, a couple of people that I've kept in touch with from my old office are really wonderful people. So I'm glad that was all kind of ended on a positive note. And then I just slept all evening. I think I must have just been completely wiped out. I don't know. I think starting a new job, you're trying to take everything in. And it can be quite intense. And my wisdom tooth pain was kicking me in the ass last week as well. So I ended up having an extra work from home day because I was in so much pain. And talking just made it so much worse. So I ended up not going into the office because I can't help myself talking so much. So then on Wednesday, I was just marking that I work from home. That's with another calendar from Crafts by Towie. And I think those are permanent in her shop now. And I really like, actually, what I want to try is Nicole from 20 Something Planner adds a foil line to the top of these calendars to just give them like a little bit of extra flourish. And I really want to try that. I completely forgot that in this spread. But that's been on my list to try for a little while. I saw her do it a couple of months ago and I thought it looked really nice. So I do need to remember to try to do that. Then we started, we're due to have some turf laid in the garden, and they started to cultivate it, and they realised that the clay content in our soil is really high, so we're having to rethink our plans for the garden. So it's just a pile of mud at the moment, which is really annoying because the dog can't go outside. So that's been a whole other thing to manage, but that was the day that started. Then I had counselling in the evening. I love how I marked Walk Wendy on Wednesday. I think that is so cute and light and feminine. There's my keyword. I just think that's absolutely adorable. And then we watched Hot Fuzz. That is a absolute favourite of ours. We've watched Hot Fuzz quite a lot. It's very funny. If you haven't seen it, it's one of Simon Pegg's sort of main films. There's that, Shaun of the Dead, and At the World's End. I get that, and the Pirates of the Caribbean one. The titles are very similar, but it's. Why can't I remember what it's called? It's something like The World's End, and the pub is called the world's end. But anyway, Hot Fuzz is my absolute favourite. I absolutely love that film. It's brilliant. So then on Thursday, I was just marking. Wendy was really unwell, so actually it was good that I ended up working from home this day because there's a helicopter that's decided that right now is the time to go over the house. That's so helpful. Apologies if that's really annoying. It sounds like they're hovering, so that's really annoying for me. Hopefully it's not really annoying for you. So yeah, Wendy was really unwell on this day. She wet the bed. She was physically sick. She was just in a really horrible place. So I'm glad that I was home to sort of be available to her and check in on her all day. And then I had some planning time. Again, I love how I marked Wendy here. I used one of the Panda Bird Designs Gathered Layers collection stickers. And then I just marked that I played Dead by Daylight in the evening. On Friday, I used another calendar from Crafts by Towie to mark working from home. I have to say, I absolutely love working from home on Fridays. It is life-changing. It just sort of feels like you can go effortlessly into your weekend from the end of the day. And it just it's a really nice way to end the work week. So I am thoroughly enjoying that at the moment. Then Miss Meow had a sticker release on this day, so I obviously bought every single thing that she'd released. She's also made her icons smaller. So when I come round to ordering some more icons, as and when I run out of things, I'm so excited to order the smaller ones, because I just think they look like they fit better on the page. But I wasn't about to reorder everything that I'd already ordered from before. So yeah, I just marked that I'd placed that order, and then another walk Wendy, and then we went for a game night in the evening at our friends and we played Quacks of Quedlinburg. Highly recommend that game if you haven't played it before. We are absolute board game fanatics in this house. So that was really fun to be able to play with some of our friends. And then on the weekend, again, I think I mentioned last week, Wendy has been allowed in our bed on weekend mornings, and it is the best, and I love it. So then from there, I had a day at my parents' house. I was supposed to have a dentist appointment to check on my wisdom tooth removal wound, or whatever you call it, but they messed everything up and had changed the date without telling me, so that was a total waste of time. But it was lovely to see my grandparents and my parents, and I stayed for the whole evening and we watched Saturday Night Takeaway. Wendy was miserable the whole evening. She cried and cried and cried, and it was awful. But up until then, we had a really lovely day. Then on Sunday, I met one of my friends to go for a walk with two dogs that she'd been looking after for the weekend, and that was a really lovely walk. It was about an hour and a long walk. And then I met one of my other friends and her dog in the afternoon, and we actually got lost on our walk, and so I ended up walking for about 2 hours. So Wendy was exhausted and slept all afternoon and all evening, and it was delightful. She was exhausted. Then we booked our trip to Paris that we're taking with some friends. We're going to go to Disneyland Paris in June, and then I just spent some time planning. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.